In the last video, as you know, I covered all the monsters I want to see coming or returning to Wilds. However, in this video, I'm going to be talking about monsters I want to see coming to an expansion or DLC. That being said, if you didn't check out the past videos, go ahead and go check those out. I would like you to subscribe, like, and comment as well. These are mostly going to be elders because Capcom is doing something with Wilds that they have not done in the past, which is including very little or to no elders in the base game, which I personally agree with. Again, if you didn't hear my opinion on it, go check out the past videos. But that being said, let's go ahead and get into it. I'm not going to waste y'all's time. The first monster on this list is actually not an elder. It's actually Rajan. I think Rajan needs to be in an expansion or DLC and not in the base game for a multitude of reasons. Firstly, Rajan is notorious for being a very hard monster to fight. It's definitely not a beginner friendly monster, and that being said, it's up there with the elders and scale of power. And since there are so many monkeys returning to Wilds, I think that it's only right that Rajan returns at least at some point in this game's entirety. I think he deserves to return in the expansion because of how powerful he is. He's like the apex monster or monkey monster. So for that reason, definitely needs to return, just not in Wild itself and the expansion or DLC to the game. Next, I'm ranking the classic. This is, everyone knows this is my favorite. I will die on this hill. It is the best designed monster in Iceborne, Namo. Seeing as we already have Uthduna in Wilds, I think it's only fair that Namo returns. Namo would fit perfectly into the Scarlet Forest area. Imagine fighting Namo. Imagine they make an underwater combat or a system in the expansion DLC and Namo is finally an underwater fight. That would be incredible. I'm not gonna say it's gonna happen. I'm just hoping, but I think Namo absolutely needs to return. I think it's a must-have monster in this expansion, considering again we already have Uthduna and those two are very similar. So I think again Namo needs to happen, needs to be put into an expansion or DLC. Next is Jin Moran. Jin Moran is a monster that I've never fought, and I've heard he is boring in a lot of ways because in the older games they didn't have a way to make him a very fun and engaging fight because of his scale. He's such a big monster. Same with monsters like Dalamadur and Lao Shinlong. It's hard to make those monsters very fightable in a quick way. However, I really think they could get their shit together and make it a captivating, massive siege fight for Jin Moran, especially in the Windward Plains. Imagine you're on a sail barge and you see this thing leap over the sail barge like a humpback whale back into the sand. It would be amazing. They just need to work on the siege fights themselves because they can take it up a notch in my opinion. They could have grander fights. Usually for a normal hunt it's 4 hunters and that's been established in the lore. You can't go above that. But for a siege I feel like it could be different. I feel like they should maybe take it up a notch because with Zora Magdaros for example, you see multiple hunters fighting him because he's such a massive monster. I think the same should be said for Jin Moran. So Jin Moran definitely needs to return in my personal opinion. I think they could do a lot better with its fight and its new gen graphic design, everything like that. Just a great monster for the Windward Plains. Second to last, and these last two importance level could be interchangeable. I actually think this one I want to see more personally and I want to fight this one more personally, and that is the OG Gog. Okay, Gog. If Gog does not return in a Wilds expansion, I'm gonna be pissed. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna be peeved, okay? Because this dude is iconic, okay? If you don't know, he basically destroys local villages or castles in search of gunpowder that he eats or consumes or whatever the fuck he does with it, and in the process he destroys these castles or these villages, right? And the lore, they've never found his resting place. I think this could be the first time that we go into his resting place and actually go after him and finish the job. That being said, Gogmazios absolutely needs to be in an expansion. I don't think anyone's really questioning that. I'm pretty sure this is one of the top, this one, a lot of people want this guy back. Last on this list, yes, I do want Gog to return, but I also really want this monster to return for a multitude of reasons. It's the last black dragon monster that has not had a new gen makeover. It's Dire Moralis. Dire Moralis for one is massive, and if you don't know the lore behind Dire Moralis, it's basically a Fatalis that was genetically modified by an ancient civilization, and I think that's really cool. And I think Capcom is wanting to get more into that ancient civilization lore or vibe with all the tribal stuff and everything. So I think Dire Moralis is going to, I am confident that Dire Moralis will be the final boss for an expansion. I'm confident in that. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty confident because that's kind of where it's leading, With that being said, Dire Moralis could be difficult to put into the game because it's typically an underwater fight, at least in the past games. So unless they're bringing back underwater combat, they'd have to fight this thing on land. That could be, I don't think it's gonna be that complicated because it's, spoiler warning, skip ahead 30 seconds if you don't want to hear this. Lagiacrus is said to be returning to the game, so, and he's in an underwater fight. So if they're putting him on land, they can put Dire Moralis on land, It's not like they can't just switch stuff around and put underwater monsters on land, So I think Dire Moralis really deserves to return as the final boss possibly of the expansion. And with Dire Morales, that is going to wrap up this video. If you enjoyed, please like, subscribe, and comment, and stay tuned for any other videos that I have coming soon. I think you're really going to enjoy them. Thank you for the hunts. I will see you on our next expedition.